In our last video, we created our budget gadget e-store and we created the home page, which displays some recently added products in our database along with the photos and the name and the price of these products. And we're also displaying our footer. Now, in this video, we want to add our products page and also our product detail page, so that when we click on our product, it will bring up the details of that product. And also we want to have a dedicated products page so that once we keep adding more and more items to our products database, we can display them fully on this page. On our home page, we simply want to display the most recently added products, the last 4 items or the newest items, or this could even be recently viewed items. All right, so let us jump into the code. First things first, we'll need to create a products.php page. And let's create a page also for our product detail. So we'll just call it product.php. All right, so first let us get our products from our database and display them on our products page. All right, so since I only have 4 items currently in my database, I am going to just limit the number of products that I show to 4. So I'm going to create a variable called numProducts on each page and set it equal to 4. Then I'm going to create a variable, and this will keep track of the current page. All right, so in the URL, we'll notice that once we click on a particular product, it gives us the ID. So on our product, when we click on our product, it will send that ID to our products detail page and display the product that we clicked on. So this variable is going to keep track of that. So current page, and we have to check and get the page. So let us say is set, and we are going to get our page, and we have to ensure that the page is a number. So we're going to use the isNumeric. And now we're going to cast our page as an integer. So get or we're going to default our page to 1. All right, so like I said, this will basically show up in the URL and it will point us to the correct product to show that particular product's detail. Next, we are going to select our products from our database. So we need a statement variable, and we are going to use our PDO connection, and we are going to prepare some SQL. So we're going to select all from our products and order by ID ascending, and we are going to limit it, but this time we are going to do some prepared statements. And now we're going to bind the value that we want to limit our products coming back from the database by. All right, so we're going to use our statement variable again and bind so we're going to bind it to our current page -1 multiplied by the number of products on each page, and we're going to pass in our parameter as an integer. So we're going to do another bind. And we're going to say the number of products on each page and PDO param int. And then we are going to execute this statement. So now we need to fetch all the products from the database. So this section has to mainly do with how many products we're limiting, and we want to include some pagination on our pages. So we have to store the number of products on each page and the limit of those products that we're storing. So now we're going to get all the products from the database. So products equals to, we're going to do a fetch all. All right, so we're going to just fetch each associated row. And we also want to have the row count. So let's store that in a variable called total products. And this would be a PDO query. So select all from products. And let me just remain uniform here with my single quotes. And we're going to get the row count. And once we're done with all of that, we want to set our PDO equal to null. And now we're going to close our script section of our page. All right, now so we are going to do the usual, adding our header and passing in the name of the page. So this is going to be our products page. And below that, we're going to include our footer. And between this section here, we are going to add our content. So I've pasted in the body of our products page, and it is similar to our home page. We are only adding a few additional things. We are echoing the total number of products that are returned or on display from our database. Then we are looping through our products that are returned from the database, and essentially this is our template, a similar style template that we used on our home page. We're limiting our products by 4, and we're displaying the image, the name, price, retail price. If the product is on sale, it will display the sale value and end our for each loop here. And we're including some pagination on our pages. Okay, so this section here has to do with pagination. So if there are additional products to be displayed, we can click on next and view each product on a different page. So that's what this section here is doing. So now let us save this and go and look at our products. So let us refresh and click on products. All right, so let's refresh. So it is not displaying our products page for some reason. So we're not getting an error, it's just not, it navigates to the page in the URL, however, it does not change. So it would seem that something is wrong with our routing. So let us go back to our index page and let us look at our router. So when we get the page and check if the file exists, so that we have to get our page. Okay, page, and we're concatenating. Oh, we have to also concat that PHP here for our page. Right, so we need that as well. So let us see if that, so home, products, there we go. Right, so we definitely needed to have that .php joined onto that page name. So now here we have it. We have our products page and we are displaying these items from our database, and as our store grows and we have more items to display, we can either choose to display more items per page or add some. We already have pagination, so once we add more items, we'll be able to go to the next page and view our items. So now we want to add our products detail page, and this will get the ID of the item that is clicked on. As you can see here, it's grabbing that ID. So this is an ID of 2, that has an ID of 1, ID of 3, and of course an ID of 4. But there's no page as yet to display because we haven't added anything as yet to our product detail page. So let's go ahead and add the template to display our items, individual items right now. So let's open up our PHP tags. And the first thing we need to do is to check if an ID is set for the item. So we need our isSet variable, and we need to use our get. And we're going to check if an ID is present. So we're going to pass in our ID. And once we have gotten an ID, we need to prepare our statement and display that item. So let us create our statement, and it's equal to PDO and we do not need this. There we go. So now our statement will be select from, actually select all from products where the ID is equal to the ID of the item that was clicked on. And then we are going to execute our statement. And inside our execute, we are going to pass in our ID And then we're going to store the result in our product variable. So this is going to be statement, and we're going to fetch each associated row. And of course, we now have to check if a product was found or not. So if a product was not found, so if no product is found, then we're simply going to exit and let our user know that the product does not exist. Else, we're going to say that the ID was not specified. So this actually would go, so we don't need an else for this. What we need is an else for our main if statement. So if no ID is found, we're also going to exit and let them know that the product also does not exist. So one is if the product does not exist, or the product ID that was clicked on, and one is if it was not found in the database. So now let us include our template header and footer. First, let's close off our connection before we do anything else. I have to make it a practice to remember to close it off. And then we are going to echo our template header. And this is our product detail page. And then our template footer. And of course, the body of our detail page will go here. In our first div, we are displaying the photo for the image. So we are grabbing it from our assets and image folder, and we are displaying it. We're setting the width and height, and we're also displaying the product name in a header. We're displaying the price of the product. If there is a sale price, we are going to display it. If not, we're just going to display the regular price. And I've also added a form action for our detail page. And like I said before, we're going to add a cart feature. So I've gone ahead and added a URL that will point to a shopping cart page once we create it. And so we can add that particular item to our shopping cart via the product ID. So we have a submit button here, and the name of it is add to cart. And we also have the product description. So let us save this, and we can check out our product detail page. So let us refresh, and let us click on our smartwatch. And we have an error. So let us see what our error says. Call to undefined function execute. It's line 5. Let us see. Statement execute. Apparently we're forgetting our arrow. So let's save that. Refresh. Right. So now we have our product detail page. However, there is a warning. So it says undefined array key in description on line 36. product.php. So let us take a look at that. So line 36, product description. So we're getting each field from the database. So let's check something here. So let's check our database. And okay, so the name of the field is actually the shortened version of description. So it's we have the wrong thing here. So let us get rid of that and save. And now refresh. Right, so now we have our product detail. Okay, so that's looking pretty nice. We're seeing our item, a larger photo of our item. We're able to choose the quantity for our item, so increase it. And we can also add it to cart. And we're seeing some features and description here. And so in the next video, I will be implementing the cart feature so that when we click on add to cart, our program doesn't explode. Okay, so basically that's it for our products detail page and our products page.